Morning, good afternoon, good night. Whenever you are watching this, my friends, welcome to Mentor Mornings. It's actually afternoon for me, but welcome. The reason why I'm on here is I just saw a friend, a very close friend of mine, a brother, in fact, post something, and it really made me think, and that's that this person feels isolated. He feels isolated. And he doesn't feel like he has anyone that he can talk to about the stuff that's going on inside of him at this moment. And I just felt moved. I felt moved because I think that there are a lot of people right now that are feeling this tremendous pressure from the wildness of the times that we're going through right now. Like people my age and a little bit younger, like we weren't born into times of chaos or times like this where we had to endure this type of pressure or deal with like this type of psychological stuff. And so, like he said that he's feeling alone and he doesn't have anybody to talk to. And I can totally relate with that. Like as men today trying to make it through the world, like we're in a different place trying to move through this world, maintain our place. Like I'm just talking to brothers today. Like that's it. Like I'm just focused on helping and talking to brothers today. So if you're a woman, you probably won't be interested in this. But like as a man trying to move through this world today, like we are being suppressed. Like and we can get into, the concept of racism and sexism and all this stuff. Who is they? Well, why don't you stick around and listen and you'll find out who they are. So, like in this world today, trying to work as men, trying to work through this, it's important, first of all, that we stick together and that we have each other's backs. Like moving through this life, we are social creatures. We are social creatures to begin with. Like we have to be able to communicate with other people inside of our tribe. Like there's a reason why when we evolved, we had a tribe. We had rituals. We had ceremonies. All these things are very important for the way that our brains work and how we move through life. We have to have these important times inside of our life where we address the shit that's going on inside of our life, difficult things that we're feeling, and we're trying to process and we're trying to make it to the next level. Having mentors, having elders, having people there to be with us and to understand what we're going through. Maybe they can't feel exactly what you're feeling at this point, but there is a very good chance, like we have all felt very similar things inside of our lives. Some of us know how to deal with it. Some of us have never had to face those kinds of things before. And so like my brother, who was reaching out and feeling alone with all of the shit that's going on inside of his head right now. Like, there are so many guys out there who feel the exact same way. Like, how do we move forward? How do we continue to provide for our families? How do we continue to provide and build success and achieve the dreams that we have inside of our life when we are constantly being pushed down? You guys, when we look into this world today, when we look around at what's going on, like opportunity for us is very limited. Opportunity to grow, opportunity to build a business, like these are realities. And so guys, if you're out there and you're trying to build a business, you're running a business, you're working for anyone, like you're a fucking warrior. Own that shit. Own it. Because if we go back and we talk to the men who had to live through the Great Depression or the World Wars, and if you sat down and you had an honest to God, heart to heart conversation with those guys, and they looked back at that time frame and the way that they felt when they were moving through it, I guarantee that they struggled on a very deep level. And so depression, anxiety, feeling alone, these are all very real things. And if we don't do something for ourselves to overcome it, it's going to be very easy to be bogged down and held back by those feelings that we feel inside. And so maybe you're the kind of person that's a loner, like you just go through life on your own. Like you don't really reach out to other people. That's cool. That's fine. Just understand that these are very real and heavy times. By the way, guys, if you appreciate this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Not that that's what this is about. Like I saw my brother post that and I just had this urge. I was like, man, I gotta talk to my brothers that are out there right now dealing with the heaviness of life, trying to make it through. Like It is heavy as shit. And that's why it's so important that we have our purpose like locked inside of here. We have to be fighting for something bigger than just our own personal satisfaction or having material things inside of our life. Like, we're being tested, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you too. I appreciate you too. We're being tested today. We're being tested in this life. This time period is testing everybody. And there are going to be people who cannot fucking handle it. That's an unfortunate truth. And that's why we're seeing so many people today committing suicide. Nobody's fucking talking about that, are they? Media isn't talking about that. But it's a fucking reality. It's a reality. And, you know, like, we have the opportunity to live today at a fucking very high level. So that when you and I are old men, when you and I hit that level, like where we're old, we can go back and we can talk to those youngsters from a place of very intense wisdom. Like, we're learning how to navigate extremely rough and difficult terrain, rough waters, however you want to talk about it. And so I guess, you know what this is this is a brother check-in. And that's that if you are feeling alone, I hope that you reach out to somebody who you can talk to. And if you don't know who that is, start looking. Test them out. Just talk. And you know what you'll find? Is that most people who are struggling or most people who are out there are a lot of people that are going to be able to connect with you on a deep level. You just have to be the first one to open up. You have to be the first one that makes themselves vulnerable. So you asked the question, any advice for someone who is 22? I don't know, man. Like, if I could go back and I could talk to my 22-year-old self, I would say, go for those fucking ideas that you have. Like, I go back to the guy that was 22 years old, that when I was 22, I had so many fucking amazing ideas. Like, I'd research them, and then I'd lose interest, or I'd think, oh, I can't do that. Like, that's not possible for me. You know, like, I was too caught up inside the shit that was going on already inside of my life. So if I was talking to my 22-year-old self, I would say, fucking do it! Pursue it! Don't sit back. You know, like you can be comfortable. Like, go ahead, go sit back, be comfortable if that's what you really want. But go after that stuff that you feel excited about, the ideas, the novel ideas that pop into your mind. I guarantee each and every one of you has had $1 million idea if money is important to you. If that's what's important. You know what gets me fired up? Is waking up with a motherfucking purpose. Having purpose. Yes, Ron, believe in yourself. Definitely. Definitely. So if I could go back to that 22-year-old guy, bro, I promise you that it's a sign from God. I have plenty of ideas written down to execute. Cool. Dude, pick the one that you like the most and fucking, like, decide today that that is what you're gonna do. You are gonna do it. And it doesn't matter how many fucking roadblocks you hit. It doesn't matter how many things that you run into. You're gonna go for it, 100%. And when you run into a wall and you don't know how to get through it, find somebody who has already done it. Find somebody who's done something similar and ask them for help. It's amazing the type of advice and help that you can get from people who have already walked those paths. You guys, like, I've run into problems where I was just like, my mind was overwhelmed. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to make it through this. There's no way I'm going to be able to get through it. And I reach out and I reach out into my network and I try to find somebody who's already done it. And next thing you know, I find somebody who's done it or something similar. And wow, like, you can cut years off. Not exaggeration, literally years off of the learning curve. And you just fucking speed right through it. And so those big, hairy obstacles that maybe you see out in front of you on this progress that you're going through, like, you can okay, I got distracted with this comment. Okay, so maybe too much information, but I created my own squatty potty before someone did the work and invented it, and are now sitting pretty, at least financially. Yeah, man. That's the truth. That's the truth. I thought of a heated toilet seat one time. I got all excited. I was going to make a heated toilet seat. Literally, 2 months later, a big article in the newspaper about somebody in my valley that had invented a heated toilet seat, and it was selling all over the place. All right, so let's see here. The A. What's your name, by the way, so I can call you by your name? Okay, should I hyper focus? And if my ideas are business ideas, who do I talk to during a roadblock and present it in a way they don't take my idea for themselves? Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. You know what? It would have to be. That's a difficult one to answer because like I've run into that myself. Like I want help, but I don't want them to steal my idea. And generally, I haven't found a way around it. You know what I've done is, yeah, Bill, talk to Nate. There you go. Hit me up, man. Hit me up, and I will definitely be. I'd be grateful to be that listening ear for you and try to help and work around it in a way where you don't have to share your specific idea. You know, I think what I have done in the past is when I reach out to somebody and they're willing to offer me their help for no charge, no fee. I guess like there's a part of me where I just have to like let go and be like, I'm gonna trust this person to honor, you know, like this conversation and not steal it for themselves. And it's a risk. It's a risk because yeah, somebody could try to run with your idea. And if they're super successful and they have all kinds of capital, chances are they're probably already too busy to run off and go do, you know, take off with your idea. So yeah, that's my advice for a 22-year-old. The other big advice that I would have for a 22-year-old when I was 22 and I look back at the way that I operated, I would say fuck what everybody else thinks and get rid of those shitty ass friends who just smile to your face and talk shit behind your back. Because they're a dime a dozen and they will always smile at your face. I have put myself in a situation because I'm such a trusting person, and I want to connect with everybody on a deep level. Like if you know me, if anybody's watching this who know me, best way to contact me, email me at info@riseunconquered.com. Google Unconquered. It took me forever to remember how to spell that. So info@riseunconquered.com. But yeah, so like I put myself in so many situations because somebody came in that like acted like my friend. Like I'm gonna help you and you're gonna help me and we're gonna be the best of friends and we're so much the same and all that stuff. And next thing you know, like I've given this person, I gave that person my power. Like I gave it to him. I'm like, oh, I'll follow you. I'll come with you. Next thing you know, I fucking lose everything. And so like putting my faith in other people, putting my faith in people that I didn't know that well, who smiled at me and were acted friendly. Guys, the shittiest people can seem like the nicest. It's the people out there who walk around with frowns on and they don't seem very friendly. They're the ones that are fucking real usually the time. Like maybe you can have a nice conversation with you know everybody out there. But I don't know. I guess I don't know how to describe that. All I'm saying, guys, is that, you know, if you're around somebody, info@riseunconquered.com. Yeah, if you're around somebody and they talk shit about everybody else around, you know, trying to make themselves feel better or look better or whatever is the driving purpose for that. If they talk shit about other people and they're belittling everybody else, you can be damn sure that when you're not there, they're saying the same thing about you. I wish I would have learned that a long time ago because, you know, I wasted a lot of my time trying to make friends and be friends with people who were not worth it. I wish I would have associated with people who pushed me harder, who made me uncomfortable. I wish I would have associated with people who didn't agree with me all the time. I'm in a mood today, guys. Like I'm all riled up. I'm all riled up. So check this out, guys. All right, so this is what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to launch a new product line. I can't get this thing to turn. Let's see. Yeah. I'm trying to launch a new product line of nutritional stuff. Nutritional stuff inside of pouches. Like I just gave you guys my business. So you know, you guys know like nicotine pouches that you put in your lip. Well, I'm trying to do that, and I'm designing formulas to help people like deal with mood stability, energy, depression, anxiety, feelings of happiness. Like if I could put LSD in a pouch and sell it legally, I would totally fucking do that. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the FDA would have a problem with that. So, yeah. All right, guys. Does anybody else have a question before I bounce? Like I just saw my brother's post And I was like, I have to reach out. I have to reach out because I know everybody's dealing with the pressure. Like we are not, you are not unique in the fact that this world is heavy right now, and trying to figure out how to move forward and navigate inside of so much craziness. Like you guys, like maybe you are not one to follow politics. Maybe you're not, completely in that realm, but I guarantee that you're feeling the pressure. I guarantee you're feeling the pressure of it. So, yeah. All right, guys. I love you. Thank you so much for being on here. Once again, if you appreciate the video, could you hit that thumbs up button? Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next Mentor Morning. Until then, my friends, rise unconquered.